How's it going?
You know. How are you?
About the same.
Where you been?
Jogge. You?
Kali. De namiskoči.
Ah. Home.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
Should we do the cabaret?
Yeah.
Well, come on home.
Yeah, I guess I'll come on home.
Well, I guess it's time to go. I'm here.
You're here!
I'm so glad to be here with you in person.
I'm so glad you're here, darling.
I'm here in person, and we can finally do the Whiteface Cabaret together.
Yes, finally. Oh,
Something's not quite right.
well, you'll get dressed.
Well, I'm here. Shall we begin, my dear?
Yes, finally.
Good evening, one and all.
Good evening, everyone.
It's time now for the Whiteface.
Cabaret.
Thank you all so much for coming.
Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the Whiteface Cabaret. Now, before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the land.
Ah, yes, indeed. This land, which we are currently gathered on, is the traditional territory of the English.
This place is called Misquitsy, the Beaver Hills. Or it's a Pehonan that's near the Beaver Hills. Pehonan is a meeting place. Now it's Treaty 6, the territory of the Nehewak, Niitsitapi, Nakota, Stoney, Métis, lots of other people. Shortly after I arrived here, I cut my hair. We Cree do that sometimes in mourning. This place is my home. This place is where I'm from. This place is where I was raised. I'm honored to be back here. I was born here. I live here. I'm gonna fucking die here.
Now, we've got a wonderful show coming your way, folks. We've got guest performers from all across this wonderful country, all featured on this little cabaret of ours.
That's right. Now, before we begin, let's answer the question. What is the Whiteface Cabaret?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Why, this is a place where one can perform their identity while holding the reins, or perform the identity of the colonizer. It's completely up to them.
You see, for some folks, we have the work of cramming ourselves into roles that weren't designed for us, or designed by the descendants of those who would exterminate us.
The Whiteface Cabaret is a place where that awkward cramming is thrown out the window, tossed to the wayside to make space for good old-fashioned entertainment.
Yes, on top of that, we're keeping up with our sweet, sweet branding, baby!
Makes sense.
Who cares? It's all impock to me. Now, on with the show. Now, our first act is coming to you all the way from the traditional territory of that sweet baby dragon.
Please put your hands together for Andy.
This is my dad. He grew up in Lebanon, and after being a playboy for a couple years, moved to Montreal to become a successful restaurant owner. Now he's retired. He likes to go on vacation and has a really cool Facebook profile. My dad and I were close growing up, but because he worked long hours, we always had difficulty spending time together. And after I moved to Toronto to pursue a career in comedy, we've grown more and more apart. So this holiday season, I decided to give him a call. There we go.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Okay, hi Dad.
What's up, man?
I just wanted to talk to you. This call went the way it usually does. He shows me his newest impressions.
I'm not a snitch. Not a snitch. Lately, you're a little bit off.
What quote is that from?
I don't know.
And also gives me creative inspiration on the next project I should work on.
I think something like Johnny Carson show with his sidekick,
So,
Mr. Ed.
so like a late night talk show on TV?
A late night talk show, yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. But this time, I wanted to go deeper and have a real heart-to-heart conversation. How would you describe our relationship?
You and I, fantastic.
That's it?
A lot of other they would envy us.
You think we have a healthy relationship?
We have honest relationship.
Do you think
healthy? There is. You can consider a relationship healthy.
I knew it would be hard to get my dad to talk honestly about how much our relationship has suffered the last couple years, but that didn't matter. I was determined to fix it anyways and do something huge to mend our father-son bond. So this holiday season, I had a big idea. Recently, I had purchased myself some new comfort wear in order to weather the lockdown, but also to attempt to capture the raw sexual energy of some of my male icons. I realized that this would be the perfect gift for a guy like my dad, who both likes looking good and feeling good. But since certain options were sold out, I had to settle on getting him the same tracksuit and hope that matching might be the secret to rebuilding our bond. I bought you something for Christmas. You got it, right?
Yeah.
Can you try it on for me?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Dingra Zinguala.
I could tell immediately by his reaction that he loved it, and he had nothing but good things to say.
Zippers everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of zippers. And just like that, we were family again. And I knew it was all thanks to a simple, selfless gesture on my part, and the tenacity to make the decision to be a good son. But how do you feel? Does it feel good?
I feel fantastic, man. I'm so lucky.
Do you feel like even though physically we're far apart, like we're closer now because we're both wearing the same thing?
Maybe.
In the end, I realized that growing up I always wanted to be close to my dad, and even though I sometimes struggled to connect with him due to differences in our culture, our temperaments, or our skill level at the craft of acting,
I'm not a snitch.
I could rest assured that I was my father's son.
You like the camera?
And that my dad, he was a pretty cool guy himself.
Wonderful, just wonderful.
Oh, well, that was just great, wasn't it?
It was.
I have a question for you, Mr. White.
Go on, Mrs. White.
Why do we have guest performers on the Whiteface Cabaret?
A wonderful cue, Mrs. W. We have invited these wonderful guest performers from across this country, well, because they're wonderful performers, and everyone is welcome on the Whiteface Cabaret.
Well, that's just wonderful.
Yes, and all of our performers featured on the show tonight will be the only performers to ever work again in the New World Order. Now, on with the show. I think it's time for us to take a question.
Capital idea.
What do we got?
Yeah, hi, thank you for having me. So my question is, how will the theater industry recover from such a huge loss to its revenue streams?
A very good question indeed. Would anyone like to answer?
I think I have an answer. I think if we just keep on staying the course, keep on selling them tickets, and pretty soon we'll be right back up on the upswing if we just stay the course.
Would anyone else like to answer?
I think we actually have a good opportunity here for a fresh start. I mean,
Anyone else?
Well, I think that...
Anyone at all? Okay then, well then, on with the show. That's it for question period.
Wonderful. Well, let's just keep things rolling with our next act. Our next performer is coming all the way from Montreal, Ontario, a traditional land of the 6 flags or something.
It's funny because that's what it's like sometimes.
Very excited to have him join us today. So please, everyone, put your hands together for...
I'm white, and I'm also a Jew. And if you can believe it, my mom is also a white Jew. But the difference is I grew up in Canada as a white Jew, which was pretty easy, and she grew up in the Soviet Union as a white Jew, which was harder. She was a citizen of the Soviet Union, but under nationality in her passport it said Jew. And no one ever let her forget that. Her dream was to be a doctor, and so she worked her ass off in school and graduated at the top of her class. And then at the entrance exams, she aced them. She did really well, but when it came time for the overseer to sign off on the officiant's grades, he failed her. Turned out that they'd already met their Jew quota for that year, and plus she hadn't given a bribe or anything, so... And her mom, my grandma, was also a Jew, and she wanted to be a math teacher, so she went in person to apply, and she doesn't look that Jewish, so they said, yeah, we got tons of room, go for it. But when she gave them her ID card, they said, oh, sorry, yeah, there's no more spots available. And these experiences are not my own, but they're pretty fresh in my biological memory. They inform my privilege.
Yes, wonderful indeed. And now it's time for our next act. Coming... Oh my God, it's a giant wolf!
Ah, there you are. The Wendigo sent me to find you. He's coming for you.
Beast!
Gotcha! What was it?
I'm not sure. Of some savage beast.
Well, are we in the clear?
I think we're gonna be okay.
Wonderful! Our next act is coming to you all the way from Montreal, Canada. The traditional territory of the French. Please put your hands together for Sarah.
Gather round, children. Gather round. Noah, could you put that down and just come to the carpet, please? Susie, we can take care of that after recess. Thank you. Great job, everybody. Is everybody cozy? Yeah? Okay, that's great. So today's story is called Why Don't Marginalized People Take Up Space? We're going to learn about this through the country that I am from. Does anybody know where that is? Cindy, yes? Egypt, very good. We're going to look at Egypt in a time called the 1800s. And at the time, there were these big colonial powers, and one of them were the British. And they liked to make sure that they could conquer the world's resources so that they could keep it for themselves. They decided to control Egypt, removed any development from Egyptian industry, also introduced tuition fees at all levels, intentionally made sure that people could not have jobs of elevated status. So this went on for a while. And then there was this incident in this place called Dinshewi. And in Dinshewi, there were all of these villagers and they raised pigeons for their food. One day, some British soldiers were just shooting these pigeons for sport. And so some of the villagers started to protest. One British soldier was injured and another British soldier ran away from the villagers. He ran so fast that he collapsed. And when an Egyptian villager tried to help him, the other British thought that that Egyptian villager had murdered him. So they killed that Egyptian villager. After that, they convicted 32 people for murder, publicly hung 4 of them, and they had the rest brutally beaten. And for Egyptians, that was enough. But they still didn't get full ownership of the way that their country would actually develop. So in Egypt, when we had another uprising in 2011, and I was actually there, one of the things that was launched at Egyptians were tear gas canisters that said "Made in the USA." So the weapons that were being used against Egyptians who are fighting for their own rights, a lot of them came from America. Even after we had these canisters launched us and we were looking at a place like America to care about us, we were then belittled for not caring enough about democracy. We can see this way in which Egyptians felt like they couldn't defend themselves, they couldn't stand up for themselves without repercussions. So the big question was, why don't marginalized people take up space? Maybe when we think about the way that British people and Americans respond to the way that others suffer in different countries, it can help us think about like that a little bit. Not just British people and Americans, of course. No, you're right, Sam. There's other people too. All right, kids. Well, it's almost time for recess. Make sure that you have your hats, your gloves, your jackets. All right, you guys head out first and I'll be right out with you.
A wonderful performance. A wonderful performance.
I think this brings our show to an end, don't you think?
I think so indeed. Now, thank you, our wonderful audience. It's been such a great crowd.
Truly, thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
Truly a pleasure to create for you. Thank you all so much for coming.
What about that guy? wolf guy. What about him?
Oh, we took care of him, silly.
But what about his foreboding warning?
Oh, that nonsense. Well, that was just an inconsequential, silly little thing. It's you! What do you want from us?
Yes, what do you want?
Whoa, are you alright? Oh my god, is it COVID?
Yes. No, I'm not sick with COVID, but COVID is causing my sickness.
The fuck?
I'm starving.
Well, what do you eat?
What's your,
I eat people.
Oh.
But everyone is dying, and no one is being consumed by my hunger. I need help, otherwise I'll die.
Well, good. Why should we help you?
I'm not asking for help. With the last of my power, I will put it into you.
Sorry about that, folks. We were experiencing some technical difficulties, but we're back now. We're back now to wish you a good evening.
Yes, and with the vaccine right around the corner, we'll be back to buying things ASAP.
That's right, and your wallets must be so fat from all of that sitting around doing nothing. It's time to get out there and support the economy. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.
Thank you for coming. 2-for-1 sale on...
That's right, thank you so much for coming. Buy one, get one free on half...
Buy one now, sell later on brand new.
Save on your first purchase of half price, buy one, get one, half...
Black Friday, do not wait another day.
Cash, cash money. Don't forget about